Hello, I just wanted to show you one of my next kind of cool travel insights that I've discovered. It's this website called matrix.itasoftware.com. Now, what this is not an airline booking software, if you will, although it's a place to search and put trips together. Then you can take it back to the airline's respective sites and book the ticket. And I found that this has been a great way to save a lot of money, actually even beyond like google.com/flights, which is one of the videos I've shown you. And so let's just say, for example, I've got a trip coming up. I want to go from Madison, Wisconsin, and let's just say I've got it coming up. I've got to go to Honolulu. I know it's tough, isn't it? And I think the dates of that trip are, man, it's sometime in mid March. So let's just say I'm going to leave on the 7th and I'm going to return. We're going to spend a little extra time out there. Actually, I'm going to come back on the 17th. So we're going to spend 10 days. It's a long trip, and I've got a conference to speak for, some of that thing. And I can check the calendar for lowest fares or choose those exact dates. So I'm going to do exact dates. Cabin is cheapest available. Stops, no limit. Now, I might say only 2 stops. I'm not big on that. It doesn't bother me, so I kind of like getting segments. So I just say no limit, and then just hit search, and it's going to start searching using the matrix that what I've been told travel agents use. And so it's going to give me a really cool option screen coming up next. You're going to see that in a moment. So we're going to let it keep searching. And meanwhile, one of it says for faster, go to Google Flights. That's the other one that I like using. Yet I found this is better because it gives me a lot of real cool options because it does it by segment. So you can see, let's see, lowest airfare at this point for that trip. I'm just going to blow this up a little bit. Is 1,086 for those dates. And that's with 2 stops. That's across multiple carriers. I'm a Delta fan, so I can see I can do it for about $1,100 or $1,200. With 1 stop, just a little bit more, so a little bit. So I'm going to choose that. Just say, okay, let's go out on Delta, and it's going to show me all of the flight options for that departure date, and then the lowest priced ones first. So if I left here at 6 a.m., looks like I travel through Atlanta, which doesn't make any sense to me because unless I really want to do a mileage run and book a lot of miles, I'd do that. Here we go. Let's see. So at Madison to Honolulu, this would be on the way out through Minneapolis back through Atlanta. I don't want to do that. So now what I also could do is I could break it down to individual flights. I just did that by choosing that option up there. And so it's going to break it down that way, which might make more sense kind of based on what I was seeing initially as far as options. And outbound then is what it just searched for me. It does all the airlines, so I can kind of say, I could go through O'Hare to San Francisco and out. That might make sense, although again, I'm going to stick with my loyalty to Delta, just see if I could come up with something that makes sense there. I don't want to go through Atlanta. Here's on the way out through Minneapolis. That's not bad, actually. And that's 1 stop. And that's kind of a long flight from Minneapolis, yet it's a day of flying, which is no big deal. Now, coming back, you can see this. And there's Atlanta. There's LAX to Minneapolis, St. Paul. That's actually not a bad way to do it, actually, because LAX breaks it up. LAX to Minneapolis, about a 3.5 hour flight, and then, just an hour home. So let's choose that one. So now it put the whole thing together for me, gave me all my flight numbers and times, and what I can do now then is it gives me some options. So to buy the tickets, here's what I do. I can who I should contact, and it shows me exactly what my cost is going to be. So just thought I'd share that with you because that's again another kind of cool way to come about trying to figure out the best way and the least expensive way to travel, and it keeps you on the road like I love doing anyway. So that's it. Any questions? Feel free to reach out to me. I trust you find this helpful.